So tonight, we're going to ask you to do a few things. The Grant family eulogized and buried their son this week, and they called for peace in Oakland. So if we want to respect what they had to say, we need to make sure that whatever we do going forward has to be peaceful. Can we agree that that is a goal for us? Can we agree that that's a goal for us? And in many ways, this is in the best of our tradition as African Americans, as other people who are progressive. It's in the best of the tradition of Malcolm X. It's in the best of the tradition of Martin and Coretta King. It's in the best of the tradition of Cesar Chavez. So if we honor our ancestors, as we should, we know that that's our mode of protest, that we're not being passive, that we're not laying down, that we are righteously indignant about this situation. We want to make sure that whatever we do, we build on good work that's already happened on behalf of our community, our young people, our elders, and that we can build off of this something that's sustainable. That we don't take Oscar Grant III's death in vain. That rather we're going to hold ourselves accountable for continued work. When the cameras are gone, when the papers stop reporting it, our children will still be having trouble. Last year, there were 120 young people who died on the streets of Oakland, and we didn't see any of this outrage. From ourselves or from others. And their lives are as important as Oscar Grant III. So if we believe that, we got to continue to organize beyond today, beyond this incident. When this officer is brought to justice, we still have to organize. Can we agree on that?
Yes.
Two sons, they're not here. I'm the father of Untitled Chapter. My son, my oldest son, Jackie, was standing right next to Oscar. He's the young man that jumped up and shot when they executed Oscar Grant, his friend. My other son was on the other side of him. And they also had some other friends. Both my sons were arrested along with 3 other young men. They were arrested for 6 hours. They arrested the wrong men. The officers who were supposed to protect our kids, they should have turned around and arrested that officer. But the police, the BART police, of all people who were to protect our young men, were the ones who would execute Oscar and shatter his dreams and his daughter's dreams of growing together and her protector. I don't know what to say. I remember 2 weeks ago, I seen Oscar. We talked about sports.
Take your time.
We talked about sports. He was there with my sons, all his friends. They were sitting there laughing, joking, just being young, individual, young men. These ain't bad kids. These are good kids. So I asked Oscar, he told me he was a basketball, track star, baseball star. And I said, Oscar, could you have made pros? And with that beautiful smile, he said, yup. Well, Oscar, you are a star. You are the star of the whole world right now. You are going to change the whole world right now. I repeat, we will not let you down. We will not let what happened to Sean Bell, Gerald Hall, to the young man in New York who was shot. You know the pain that this man has caused. The other night it was like 3 in the morning, and I picked my oldest son. He was right next to Oscar, and he was just quiet. He was in the daze. So then we were at my girlfriend's house. Rather my fiance's house, and they pulled up the video, and we were looking at it. As he looked at that video, he couldn't believe it. He's not. None of the kids are the same right now. And BART has not reached out and apologized to them 5 young men. Both my sons and their friends were taken to jail for 6 hours. They had my sons handcuffed for 6 hours. The mother was trying to call. They kept hanging up on her. They didn't treat nobody fairly that evening. It was like a joke to them. They owe everybody an apology. Thank you.
for the police to arrest someone charged with a crime. And I started to think of incidences where something got a lot of notoriety and people got arrested. And I thought about the Bay case. Do you remember when Chauncey got killed? How long did it take between the day Chauncey was killed and when the suspects were arrested? Tell me somebody, please.
24 hours.
24 hours?
24 hours.
They were charged, right?
That's right.
In jail.
That's right.
And so I think it's really interesting, and the community is quite concerned that someone we have videotape of. In the press conference that the mayor did the other day, a gentleman in the back of the room yelled out, "Do you know where he lives?" And the DA responded, "Yes, we do." And so with those two things, we've got work to do, though. We've got work to do. We cannot continue to have meetings where we just sit up and talk about how bad it was. We've got work to do. And so we need to make sure, because I sat up here and I heard Carol say that we're going to have another meeting tomorrow so we can hear from you again. For what? You can't make any decisions at that meeting tomorrow. You can't pass legislation that will ensure that this doesn't happen again. We need to go to the meetings where they make decisions. And we need to press for the change that needs to be brought about. So we will all continue. We'll have to have some meetings, but we will do it with a purpose for moving forward. We will not forget Oscar Grant. He has touched many lives now, literally all over the world. And we need to make sure that in the city of Oakland, that every child, regardless of where they live or what color they are or who they are, knows what happened to an Oscar Grant. I look forward to working with you.
I, along with others here, were that group of ministers and concerned citizens that the district attorney refused to meet with. I am one of those who was rejected, as long as others who were here were rejected. They didn't. We're talking about before Wednesday. We were trying to meet with the district attorney. Councilwoman Brooks had called this man and had told him where we were, right in this room, right over here. 20 or 30 of us, she told him who was in the room. And then when we pushed our way into the meeting, he had the nerve to say that he didn't know who he was going to be meeting with. And it wasn't until she pointed out that we were sitting in the room listening to him on the speakerphone that he started straightening his tie and starting to clean it up. So then we're pretty angry right now. Many of us are mad as hell, and we don't want to take it anymore. Is that right?
That's right.
But what we need to be doing, in addition to being angry, in addition to being sad, in addition to mourning, we need to know how to use this moment to organize for the very life of our community. Yes, it's a time for mourning, but it's a time for organizing. Whatever you believe in, we need for you to call on that belief right now. Right now, on behalf of this community, on behalf of this family, on behalf of everybody who's looking forward now, so that we're not just mobilizing, bringing people together, and nothing come out of it, but we're organizing and planting some roots for something that's going to grow in the future. God bless you.